On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, Kidder's been pre-gaming, which means this is going to be an interesting episode one way or another. I'll probably poke the bear a couple of times. I mean, it's what I do. Besides the two of us, the local geek is back to share some more of the brews that were brought through his spy network to us, so get ready to enjoy that. As for what we talk about, it's going to be a little all over the place, and heck, there might even be a surprise guest. Who could it be? Who is it? I can't tell you. That would be a disappointment. There's a hint for those of you who've been following along for a long time. Otherwise, for the rest of you, you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder. Work all beverage, porpoises, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Oh, come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that could show you a good time, and it won't cost nothing. I am your host, the living embodiment of Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who's been doing a little too much of the old Ric Flair impression, but that won't stop him. Woo! It's Mark Kidder, the Mark Kidder to be exact.
And don't you forget it.
How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going good now. Tuned up, ready to go. Got my brother right here from another mother. We're ready to go for another show. It's going to be quite the show tonight. The behind the curtain's probably going to be one for the ages. And aside from that, well, we're here and it's better than working. So let's get this damn thing on the road. And wait a minute. Hold the phone. I see somebody's kicked in the bar door once again, gone behind the bar and is doling out drinks. It is the one and only, the Triple B brewmaster himself. Local Geek is in the show. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks, guys. It's good to be back. It's been, about a month? Something like that?
I mean, that could be right, but Future Howard's a little bit behind on the editing, so to him, it feels like it was just last week that he edited that episode that came out. So.
That episode did come out last week.
Yeah. So it doesn't feel like all that long ago, but, that's...
So Howard Blues, I just want to share that I have breaking news and a surprise for you.
Oh.
That's right. The one and only Lane.
Hey.
I got him into the show. I got him ready to go. I got him lined up. He's here. He's loud. He's proud. He's in the show. He's here to, he's made notes. He's ready to go for 2 notes. Okay. And he's got like 8 beers. He's tuned up too. He's ready for this show. And then, not only is it a surprise for you there, brother Howie, but also with Local Geek being on the show and the Triple B Brewmaster, I figured it would be an extra special treat because Lane has not had the ability to sample Local Geek's drinks, but he has perused in some of the finest beers available, making him quite the aficionado to be on the show. And it's about damn time. We've been doing this show for 2 years, Lane.
I'm happy to be here. And, I came prepared. You're going to hate the beer I chose, but you need some representation on this channel.
What is it, like a pine tree in a can? The pine tree is coming out of the top of the can?
It's a pine tree coming out of a smokestack, so pretty close.
Yeah. I just gonna say I do find it funny because the Local Geeks shared a link for us to discuss later in the episode, and here's a teaser.
Yes,
but it has to do with this Blu-ray that's sitting back there, and is still back there and still unwatched. And yes, that is Pacific Rim. So
Here's the best thing about all of this, because it's like the universe is coming together. Because I knew about your Blu-ray. I knew about Lane's disposition on it. And LcL Geek did not know, for the complete record and 100% transparency, he had no clue that any of this was happening. And he's like, I don't know why I'm here now, because Kidder's losing his mind. So, yes, the internet and the universe has done me well today. Thank you, universe. I could use a couple million as well. Please help me out. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to retire the disappointment lane graphic. That's a shame.
Well, it was good for over 2 years. Let's be honest.
It was. But gentlemen, enough of the intro. We should get to everybody's favorite segment of the show.
Yeah!
That is What's on Tap. And since we have guests, I always go in the order the guests arrive. So, LcL Geek, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I have one of the ones that I brought you guys the last time I was on. Trying to remember where this one's from. This one is from Littleton, New Hampshire, the Schilling Beer Company, and it is the Jacobus, which is a German-style Pilsner at 5% alcohol.
This is going to be crazy.
And that's about all the can has on it.
And it really is about all the can has on it. I know because I'm drinking the same thing. So.
You started before him? Where are your manners, Howard?
I'm going to pour that into the it's been a week glass. So.
It has been a week. There's the freeze. There's the keyword. Now, if somebody else was editing it, such as a person who hasn't been on this show before, he may put like extra dinging effects and prize winning type sound effects and visual effects to add to that, because it's like the Pee-wee's Playhouse secret word of the day type of thing, but it's literally the worst secret phrase of the week every show.
There is barely any color to this.
Yeah, looks like your floor.
The green lights that I have on give it some color, but there really isn't a lot of color to this.
Yeah. Do I still have that? Did I drink? I drank that. Okay. Yeah. I had to check to make sure. LcL Geek isn't privy to those episodes yet.
Not yet. That's not bad for a Pilsner.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
Nothing super special about it. I mean, tastes like a Pilsner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I'll give it a 3.
Oh, wow, 3.
I was going to go 2. So.
Wow.
Well,
the brewmaster has spoken. Howard is overruled.
I'm just going with a 3 because it's just like it's an average Pilsner. It's not bad, but it's nothing special. It's average. All of these ratings are subjective anyway.
What? You mean that these are not expert analysis, perfection-driven numbers that are then calculated into a spreadsheet that are given to every beer company in the country to then base their next 6 years of beer creations off of?
If it is, then that might explain why we don't have any sponsors.
Hey, Lane, what are you up to these days? You want to sponsor the show?
No, I don't make that much money. No.
Poor podcast hosts forking over $120 a month minimum. I mean, just $1 a week can save a starving podcast host. or a thirsty podcast host. So you should give $2, one for food, one for beer.
And then 4, so you can have like between the two of you.
Perfect.
There you go.
That's a great commitment. We all heard it here first. It's on recording. Lane's going to donate to the show for the rest of eternity. Lane, man, I have missed you.
Someone's got to keep you afloat at this point.
I'm now wondering, because I've known Lane for a while, which is the biggest regret in his life? Working for me, working for you, or being on this show?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
Holy crap, if you put it that way, this show has to be number one. I'm throwing it out there because you get both of us.
Man. Okay, so
you can't have
wait.
both of us at once.
There is an answer, I think, to that question.
Oh, here we go. Lane, I might remind you that I have a full fridge right here of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, some being liquor, some being beer. And you are always welcome, depending upon your answer.
Okay. So I think like the full context is like depending on like circumstances around it. I don't want to go like poo-pooing too much on it, but like I will say working for Chris was definitely easier than working for Kitty.
Oh, absolutely, it was easy. I mean, all you had to do is stand around and like, this broke. I better put some super glue on it.
Yeah, basically.
To what we did, where it was like, here, do this. Okay, I did it. Wrong!
Exactly.
You suck at life!
Exactly.
And mind you, that was not coming from me.
No. It's just a bunch of old white ladies.
What's great about this is you go to last week's episode, and then you can put some extra pieces together in the puzzle, and you can start making things form a picture. Howard's like, was it last week or was it the week before? It's probably both. Let's be honest.
Howard doesn't remember most of the last few weeks. Let's just be honest.
He's been drunk.
But anyway, Lane, what are you drinking this evening?
What am I? Okay, so I figured being the person out in Minnesota, I had to grab like a Minnesota, like Minneapolis, beer on the way home from work. So I got an IPA. It's Indian Pale Ale from Black Stack. They're a local place. There's a lot of words that are very shiny, and I'm not going to attempt to read them without my glasses, but just like local 755 Black Stack, it comes in at 6.8%. I don't know. Everybody tells me it's good, so I figured it's time to give it a rip. Also,
well, let's open that can there. Oh, he's got a koozie too. Yeah. He's from Minnesota. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's an IPA, but like kind of sweet, like in a like not offensive way. I don't know. Like sometimes you don't want your beer to be sweet. So yeah, no, I don't know. It's like a little hoppy, little sweet, pretty smooth. Like not too much on the back end. Solid. I'll probably finish it shortly.
I'm gonna hop in. I'm gonna cut Kidder off. He gets to say what beer he.
I see what you did there. That's awfully piney of you.
Yeah. Anyway,
you do it again.
I was gonna just share this story. When I'm out in Medora, I like to every now and then visit the Little Mo Saloon since I know the owner. And it just so happens I was in there with him on Tuesday night after the 3-hour city council meeting the two of us sat through. And doing a little politicking afterwards, and which was kind of fun because in the past when I was out there, I was never allowed to really go and drink because when I was out there, I was always in uniform, so couldn't be seen in uniform drinking in a bar. That was just a bad look. So now that we don't have a uniform and I'm in street clothes, it's like, what the hell? So first he bought me a shot of Jack, which was interesting because he's like, wait, we've never done a shot together. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I've always been in uniform. So we did that. But he had me try from the Lewis and Clark brewery. they have a beer called, the name of it is Halo, and it is a huckleberry beer. And it's gross.
Oh, that's disappointing.
He was trying to get me to have another drink, and I'm like, no, I do want to be able to drive part of the way back home. So, because it's a long walk from the Little Mo to the caretaker's cottage, and so he's like, well, here, just have a sample of this. You got to try it. And I'm like, oh, that's terrible. So I'm just throwing that one out there. That was because it was like a sweet, fruity taste on kind of a Pilsner taste like this. So it maybe helps some people picture it, but it was bad.
Did he know going into that you don't like fruit and beer?
I actually said that because that was his thing. He's like, oh, you should try this. He's like, it's a huckleberry beer. I'm like, fruit and beer is kind of, crime against humanity. He goes, yeah, it's our filler until we get more from Beaver Creek. So help us empty the keg a little bit. Okay. But yeah, it was pretty bad.
Now that is a noble goal, to empty the keg to make room for Beaver Creek to bring more in.
It does really well for them out there because it's kind of local to the area. So,
yep.
But they have a hard time getting it because, fun fact, in Medora, Beaver Creek only really wants like all of their product in one place. So Boots Bar and Grill in town became the official place to get Beaver Creek. So they will only give the Little Mo one beer, and only after Boots is stocked. So it's I didn't realize that was a thing, but apparently it's a thing. I learned a lot about the history of the Little Mo drinking with Jim. So, but we'll maybe get back to that in a bit because I've made Kidder wait long enough. Although he's already like 4 ahead of all of us, 5 or 6 maybe. I lost track of all of the pictures of his pre-gaming while I was driving here. So, Kidder, what are you having tonight?
Courtesy of the Local Geek Beer Stealing Network, it's the Vermont IPA. I don't know why I got this one, but I might die. Green Mountain Haze, apparently. New England IPA, born in Vermont. Caretakers of Vermont Craft from Long Trail Brewing Company. It's our take on the hazy, hoppy style coming from the greenest state around. Alcohol by volume, 6%. Because it'll get you drunk. It's 12 fluid ounces. It is an IPA straight up with a color of golden haze. And take a hike. I mean, maybe it'll focus. The giant text that says Vermont IPA and the hiker, but
we need to get your camera like some ADHD medicine. It never focuses.
I could say a lot, but I'm going to save it for later. So we'll open this, and it's going to be probably pretty angry. So, oh, no. Wow. Not even a move on the froth in the neck of this thing. Also, on the cap, it has, of course, the hiker. There you go. It reminds me of Price is Right with the Yodeler game. And then he falls off. Lane remembers.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Thanks, Lane.
I got you.
Appreciate you still having my back after all this time and all we've been through. And then a taste of Vermont. And yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Because there you go. Perfect. That's perfect right there. I did that for Howard. I haven't had a sip yet, but I'm going to give this a negative 19. Why a negative 19? Because it's right there next to the hiker. It says -19. Holy crap, this smells like Pine Sol.
I hope Kidder's got the multicam for that because I stole the video for most of it.
Yeah, he's got it going.
Yeah.
So we're not missing a single minute of this wonderful beer phase that he's got going.
Taste buds can't handle like actual taste on a beer. That's all.
I mean, if you like drinking cleaner, then go for it. You know, you might as well go to Walmart because it's going to be cheaper than buying this crap in the store. Okay? Like a $5 bottle, like 3 liters of Pine Sol or any of buy the Great Value brand. You're going to save money and then put it in one of these bottles because you may as well clean out your innards. Just disinfect everything. I mean, you know, COVID's going around, the flu's going around. Like, just drink the Pine Sol and clear out your innards. Hell, while we're at it, instead of going to Vermont, smoke some meth here. Take some heroin here, too. Why not? Couple oxys. Bam! You're in Vermont. No, I'm thinking Oregon.
I would just like to state that the views of Kidder do not reflect or represent.
Wait, you want my views to represent because I don't want you to do drugs. Don't do any of that. It is 100% sarcasm.
Also, don't actually drink Pine Sol.
Don't drink this either. Listen, Local Geek, I'm really appreciative of your spy network getting us beers and other mixed alcoholic beverages from across the country. But we can take a hike on the IPAs, okay?
I did tell him when he was picking up beers if he could avoid IPAs, do it. But that multi-pack had the IPA in it. So.
We don't have enough flannel on the show for this.
There was an IPA that had a really cool can that he asked if I wanted, and I was like, if you can get like a single can of it, yeah.
Yeah, dump it out. We'll take the can. Aluminum's expensive these days. Even though I've had like 4.5 drinks before opening this, it still doesn't help. So, Howard, I have to say, it's not like the old blueberry days when we made it to the 8th table and had the blueberry. Or Lane, you big fan of this?
Oh no. That stuff is
4.7% alcohol by volume.
You have to drink so much of it to like get anything out of it, and it's not worth it.
It's pretty good if you mix it with a peanut butter porter. It's like a peanut butter and jelly kind of.
They're Local Geeks going at it again. Damn Local Geek creating extra problems and things for these companies because, man, if he opened a brewery, he could make trillions. Okay, then. So, what's everybody up? Wayne, this is your first time on the show. You have put up with so many episodes as a proxy almost because it's like you've been on the show. Instead, you've just been here via name and called out constantly.
You know, for me, if memory serves, he was given a set of the Triple B of Doom and was supposed to give a review of it that I've been waiting for.
Yeah, you can't let Local Geek down.
Oh yeah, I remember. I ended up giving most of that away because I drank the first one and I was like, "This is horrible." So I ended up pawning it off on anybody else I could. I was like, "No!" Like, and the reason I knew it wasn't going to be enjoyable was when it got handed off. Like the look Chris had. I was like, you say this that you're trying to get rid of him, but I was like, no, I know that look. I was like, there's something more to this.
Well, there was something to it. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, you always got to worry when it's a beer coming from me because it could either be really good or really bad. There is no middle ground.
And I tried to return the favor by bringing you Cold Smoke from Montana.
Yeah, listen. I mean, as I said, it could be really good. It could be really bad. It's a gamble. I'm making it a game, Lane. It's enjoyable
For you.
Well, listen. I have to find content somewhere. I once made LcL Geek and Kidder, and then another constant guest on the show, JS. We all drank a pickle beer. That was.
I can strangely see that working though.
Yeah, it wasn't
terrible.
It was a pickle sour. And
I wanted to throw up.
Kidder hated it. LcL Geek and I were like, oh, all right, yeah, this is fine. JS loved it.
I love pickles, but that,
and I'm not a pickle fan. So.
It was the uncanny valley for you. That's why it's too close to like an actual pickle.
It's more like too close to the actual like pickle juice. If you were just to drink it straight.
Isn't that supposed to be like really healthy for you?
It is.
sure.
It's supposed to help with like cramps and such. A lot of hockey players will drink pickle juice.
Yeah.
Or get massages or dunk themselves in ice cold baths, or just stay away from crap alcohol.
That's helpful. But
so Lane, you have over 2 years worth of content that you have to respond to. The floor is yours.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I think there was a couple of times I like would send a message back into like the comment section. Oh man, I don't even know. It's just things to respond to. It's mostly like most of the times they just come out of stories you're telling, like and like it'd be like you're referencing, and it's like just the look, and it's like, oh, it's Lane. Oh god, I'm trying to think. Okay, so I do have a story that like I feel a little bit bad about this one because like, and I feel it's somewhat topical. I feel like too, like with Baldur's Gate being out right now and being very popular right now, it's like TTRPGs and stuff. So this is very much directed toward Howard for the first bit. But you were my first introduction into tabletop games, I remember. And I remember I was a horrible player. And like at 9, I think it was like 9 or 10 a.m. on a Sunday. And I realized like very quickly that was not going to happen for me. And I still look back on that and I'm just like, I feel a little bit bad about just like dropping on that. But I do still appreciate it because now every Saturday I'm out here playing D&D with a group of friends that were very similar to this, where we're all calling in and having a good old time. And I can say you gave me my first, the first little bite of like the tabletop RPG bug.
Yeah, I think I ended up converting a couple of people out of that because I got Jonah going on that pretty heavily and such. So yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. I enjoyed it.
I wish it wasn't at like 10 in the morning or like 9 in the morning, whatever that was.
It was like at like noon, man.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
At that point in my life where I was not up at noon on a Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, it was more in the afternoon.
Whoops.
Now
I feel extra bad.
Yeah, it's okay. Look, hey, it's okay. You did better than one of the other players in that group who attended one session and then never came to another one.
Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I made it to at least like 2 or 3, but like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm still mad you took my plates though. I'm still mad you took my plates though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right.
My first experience playing tabletop games, the DM took my character, so
Oh,
and he ended up being the villain in the whole scenario by the end of the thing. So not only did he take my character, he made me kill my character.
oh.
In my first time playing, the first few sessions was okay, but about like session 4, we had somebody else come in and DM a session, and they decided your guys' characters are all too powerful and we need to start over. So his basic session went to, I'm sending you all to hell so I can kill off all your characters. It was supposed to, like, he purposely TPK'd everybody, and the group just broke up. And then, yeah, a bunch of us, like, I didn't play for years after that because it was just one of those, like, for many of us, it was our first game, and your first game, you always are terrible. You know, you always play some crap character. You make terrible mistakes. It just happens. And that was this guy's solution was, well, I'm just going to kill you all off. And it was just like, it's not, I don't know how enjoyable this is. So
This one, he did kind of give me a choice on it. Like, we had this crown that if you put it on, your mind would get controlled. And I was holding the crown and everybody around me was unconscious. And basically I was going to get mauled by all these other creatures if I didn't put the crown on. So it was basically, put the crown on and take control or potentially have death. And I thoroughly enjoyed the new character I spun up after that. So,
Lane also had to deal with the fact that his character was one of the ones haunted by a particular Wookiee with a scar over his eye and a gray streak of hair. They did eventually find out what that was about, Lane.
Did they? Did they?
They did.
Okay, that's good.
There was a point to all of it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I remember the effort you put into the session recaps. I distinctly remember that, and I appreciate that. And that's one of the things that I have tried to carry. And it's like for us, we keep all of our stuff in because we started playing COVID, so it's like I tried to bring that into my notes where I've spin up a little story about what happened last time. But this campaign has been going on for 2 years now. And we've gotten real lazy about notes because we started just video recording everything. So if you need to know something, just go to the YouTube video.
Yeah. No, for those who don't know, at LcL Geek, you'll appreciate this because it was a Star Wars campaign. Mm-hmm. I started every single session with the scroll. I actually had my computer, I had a PowerPoint set up, and it would actually scroll up and give a hint to kind of what the session was going to be about. And
nice. That's really cool.
And then it would actually do, just like in everything of Star Wars, it would after the scroll, it would pan to something to kind of help kind of set the scene. It was fun. It was fun. And very mind-blowing for people the first time that they experienced it because they weren't expecting it.
No, it was. And this is how we get Kidder to play.
No.
That's going to take something else.
Start with Baldur's Gate and figure out the rest from there.
No, really, my board game is Magic. And the board is the table.
I've almost got him committed to having a match between the two of us.
Oh,
so I'm good with that. Let's make it happen.
Sounds like an episode of Howard's Cave of Wonder.
Oh yeah,
it does. We were even thinking. I was even going to see if I can get him to play Commander. So then we need 2 more players. So.
If you do it on Tabletop Simulator, I've got numerous decks because they're free on that. You do it on there. I am not spending hundreds of dollars on pieces of cardboard. It's not happening. I will. Actually, I take that back. I rescind that statement. I will, just not on Magic cards.
Because we actually talked about this last week, Kidder and I, because I'd gotten a few cards in the mail that I'd always wanted to get. And we were talking about it. And which got me to thinking, and I was looking for it, and I can't find it, Lane. I can't find my graveyard ping pong deck that I built solely to beat you with.
Oh my god, I remember because like I first started getting into Magic around that same time as well. Oh
Yep.
my god.
Yep, you and I played a game against each other, and I designed a deck.
Mm-hmm. I had
Squarely
no
just
idea what I
me.
was doing then. I was just playing like red, black, just like I'm gonna throw damage at your face.
Hey, I mean it.
Tink.
Yeah, it. You did well. It was a much closer game than I thought it would be because I ran that deck through against a couple other decks I have, and it's like, okay, I haven't lost a game yet, and then I was like, oh man, yeah, it pushed it, but I
Turns out
can't-
Lightning Bolt is a great card when you can have, I think it was 4 of them at the time.
yeah,
So
yeah. So I got to find that deck. It's around here somewhere, but
I've gotten much better at deck building since then. So, but mainly for Commander. But
yeah, and local geek. Since we're on the topic, you used to play. I don't know if you still play.
I haven't played since high school.
No.
I never actually built my own decks. I always borrowed from one of our classmates, or a couple of them, I should say.
That's okay. I just played with the cards that were handed down to me and my brother from one of his friends. They were all red and black because his mom didn't like the art on those and thought that they were too too graphic and too anti-religious. So he had to give every red and black card away. And so that's what my deck was, hand-me-downs from that. It's like I remember playing some of those guys at the table and they'd be like, why are you playing that? It's like, because it's the card I got.
that's just how it rolls.
I think there was the two of us because I kind of had a random ass deck too. I'm like, yeah, I've got 82 land cards. Why not? Tap, 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 tap. Yeah, who's laughing at my mountains now? Sorry, Howard.
Gotta edit that one out.
Sorry.
Leave no proof.
I've been drinking. Yeah, let that one go. This one's for Lane. Let's pour this IPA out for Lane.
No, you should finish that one. You should.
You should finish the IPA for Lane.
I'm getting there.
I mean, mine's bigger, and I've already gone through more of it.
I'm ahead of you by 4. Don't make me break out the hard liquor and put y'all under the table.
Trust me, I can only have the one. I'm parent in charge this weekend. So
Yeah, so get under the table.
I mean, I still got the scotch that I bought with the gift card from our former CEO that they gave me for putting out a fire.
Yes. Howard, did I ever tell you that story? Local Geek, I'm pretty certain that I did not tell you the story of the Great Fire of 2021. Or, yeah. I think
That'd
it
be
was
right.
20.
That'd be right.
The hills were on fire. The building was nearly on fire. Things were going up in flames and smoke was pouring out everywhere. And then through the fog comes a ray of hope. Lane with the fire extinguisher. It scared the whole fire out.
You built that up, and what probably was something like nobody could get the printer to work, and like Lane kicked it off.
I mean, he did turn the printer off and turn it back on a few times. Let's be honest.
That was
It's
a daily
not printing. What's going on? Did you try turning it off? No. Okay, you try that.
No.
But Lane was a firefighter for about 30 minutes.
Yeah. For full context, if I remember correctly, one of the people was leaving the building. From one of our television talent was leaving the building at around 8 o'clock, whatever it was. called our CEO, who calls you, who you call me to say, hey, is there a fire out by the back of the building? And I'm just like, yes, there is. Where's the nearest fire extinguisher? Grabbed it and just dealt with the issue and got like $200, $300 for it. So,
Wow, nice.
yeah. Turned it into a nice bottle of scotch.
Man, if that was like $200 for, I'm gonna guess like 30 minutes of work. That's like $400 an hour. That was like your best paying job ever.
Less than that. It's like 10, maybe 5.
Yeah, it was like maybe 15 minutes, like at tops. But yeah, I mean, it was the best paying job for a very brief amount of time, and then I realized very quickly that I needed more money, and then I moved to a place where it costs twice as much to live. So
Oh, I thought you said we're going to say that you realized you didn't want to be a firefighter anymore and didn't want to have the stress of that environment.
No, the most stressful part of it was when the police showed up and was like, "Hey, get off the wall." And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Now you were at work at the time, so you were also earning your hourly wage on top of that gift card amount.
That's true. And okay, so I was making $45 a year. So what's that hourly? Like 22?
Kidder's like, no, not math.
No,
The kryptonite of a
the
kid
math
who's
thing-
drank too much.
That's a separate thing, and I'm gonna need to drink more for that. The first part of that going, that's what we were allowed to give Lane. I mean, it was more than I was making in my first full-time job, but that was also in 2012.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
Hey, look at it this way. You gave him a springboard to go and get a better paying job.
And get the
Which I lost after 3 months.
Oh,
So
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, for full context, turns out the company that hired me going bankrupt. Nobody knew but the CEO. So,
man,
3 months later, my
it's
position
almost
gets
like where we were, like things happening without our knowledge.
Oh yeah. 3 months in, this like the position, like they brought me into a meeting with about a dozen other people, and that we were like the third round of people that day. Gets cut, and so now I'm doing social media stuff and special event planning for a very expensive restaurant / wine shop / deli.
Are you saying you got an in for wine and cheese?
I mean, if you want it, we ship to North Dakota.
I'll do some reviews of wine. And I love cheese. We rarely have food on this show, so let's make a charcuterie tray out of it, or however you say it.
This is that will be my form of sponsorship for you.
Send us cheese and wine every month.
And you
Can we
have
get some dried fruit or meat too?
This is Lane. So when he says that, it won't be every month, man. It'll be like every 6 months. It'll be like 5 months of I'll get it to you next month, and then about the 6th month he'll come through.
Every 2 years it shows up.
the only stipulation is you have to whine and bitch about something while you drink and eat it.
And the meat you're gonna get is gonna be a Lunchable.
Ah, man. I was hoping for some like triple smoked salami with a hint of nutmeg, because it goes well with this insert very expensive wine here that's on the list that he has.
Mm-hmm. So a question for Local Geek, because I thought of this when you guys were talking about the printer. Local Geek, since you do work in IT, do you get tired of the turn it off and turn it on joke that happens all the time?
Oh no, it actually works most of the time.
Well, no, but I mean the fact that everybody makes a joke out of it.
No, I actually have like a thought bubble above my desk that I wrote that on.
LcL Geek, the living embodiment of IT.
I'll try to remember to send you a picture of it on Monday or Tuesday when I go into the office again.
Okay. Please do.
Whoa. You have Monday off?
No, I work from home Mondays.
Well, so it's going to be moderately smashed Monday. Right?
No.
Seems like a waste of a good Monday.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, I have Monday off, so I might.
Look at you. My wife gets it off too, but
Oh, it has nothing to do with holidays or anything. It has nothing to do with anything. Just hours in working and
Hey, Kidder, I got a story that'll make you feel better about your life.
what did you do now?
Oh, it's not what I did. There's
It's somebody else. You can blame somebody else.
Just listen. There's a reason I call myself.
What do you mean I have to listen? I'm almost done with this IPA. I need what's on tap too. Look, they're out. You need a pause. I am overruling your listen here to what's on tap too.
I gotta go get
LcL Geek, what do you have?
Surprisingly, this is actually on theme for Howard to make a transition and have Kidder stomp on it. Glad we're keeping up with traditions around here.
Thank you. I am happy to carry that on to the next episode.
Before I go to what I've got here, Howard, how is
terrible.
that Pilsner treating you after it started warming up? I thought it got a little bit worse as it warmed up.
It's halfway through it.
I passed half. I probably am 2/3 through. I gotta make it last the whole show, man. Leave me alone. It's okay. I won't say that it's gotten like a whole lot worse, but it's, I don't know. I've drank a lot of really crappy stuff on this show, so
That's fair.
getting worse is kind of a high bar to clear, actually. So, but Lane's back, and so he's got his second beer. So Lane, kick it off. What you have for round two?
So this one I'm actually like kind of proud of. It's called The Lonely Blonde from Fulton's. I've been to this brewery. It's within basically spitting distance of Target Field. So pretty fun little neck of the woods. It's an American blonde ale, so it's a little more tame. It's only got 4.8%. 29 IBU. You think at this point I would understand what IBU means? I'm assuming it's a hop rating. I don't know.
Bitterness.
Bitterness.
International Bitterness Unit.
So it's not very bitter.
And that's why he is the Triple B Brewmaster.
But this one, I can read the back of it. It's brilliant and refreshing. German hops, American malt, and you know what? Don't worry about the details. We already handled it. All you need to do, maybe we can't read, is enjoy Minnesota's favorite blonde ale.
Oh man, Lane, I have missed you.
Still need spell check on every graphic I make, and I'm still annoyed that Photoshop does not have it in it.
Yes,
Well, it does, but like it's kind of annoying to use it.
Yeah, you gotta actually hit a keystroke
Yeah.
to make it work.
Yeah, it's dumb. I don't like it. But I don't even use
You
real
want
Photoshop.
the squiggles. You'd be like, oh man, that fits in with that graphic. It looks great. The squiggles really set off the text on that graphic.
It makes it pop.
Yeah. Sorry, taste your drink. Give us a 0 out of 5 with the koozie.
I realized I didn't give you a rating on the last one.
Yeah, we need to back up. Let's.
Okay, so for the
rewind
first
half
one,
an
it's a
hour.
4. The second one, so it's a blonde. It's a little like it's got a little less to it, but it's still solid. I give it like a 3. Like I like my beer to like kind of like remind you it's a beer.
Well, I'll have a glass bottle here that could like smash over your head and remind you that it's got a pine tree stuffed in it.
So-
Local Geek, are you having a round 2?
I am.
Round 5, I think.
So Kidder knows. I don't think you knew. I was out of town last week. I don't think I said where, but I did torment Kidder with a picture of an Outback menu. So
Yeah, you bastard.
I was in Sioux Falls for work, so I hit up the Lupulin Brewery again while I was there, and I picked up a CPB, which is chocolate peanut butter. The description on the can says, layers of decadent chocolate and peanut butter built into a rich oatmeal porter make this beer impossible to have just one. We're not sorry. It's 5.25% alcohol, 20 IBU, 35 SRM, and it is 1 pint. And it is Ball Corporation aluminum, if you can read that.
Yeah!
So wait,
And
what's
let me
the
guess, you only
SRM?
have one.
SRM is the color rating.
You only have one, right?
Yes, I just have one of these left.
So the bottle is lying to you, or the can's lying to you.
Yeah, I can only have one of these because they're heavy. They're not high alcohol, but they're heavy.
Listen, you're already at home. It's fine. And Lane's just shaking his head.
It's like when we were at work. It's a lot of that.
You can have 6. It's noon. It's fine. We have to make it through the show this afternoon.
And
Nobody
it
will notice.
is a very, very dark beer. The flavor profile
Wait a
on
minute. Listen here, you son of a not you, Local Geek. A certain guy with a graying goatee sent me something. He's now not only taunting me, but he's claiming that the secret recipes are not so secret anymore. He's sending me this kind of crap. Outback Steakhouse recipes. I don't need the recipe. I need them to have the recipe so they can make my bloomin' onion super bloomin'. Local Geek, I'm sorry that somebody had to interject and take away from your PBJ tasting. There was like whatever. It was like half a glass of head.
Yeah, it's settled down a little bit now. It is dark though, and the flavor profile on it, if I'm remembering right from when I was drinking the last one last week, it is very reminiscent of a Reese's peanut butter cup, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, is it Reese's or is it Reese's?
I don't know.
It's Reese's.
Got Lane going on it.
Well, no, I only know because I've been corrected like numerous times. I still say Reese's, but like I know full well it's Reese's. Like sometimes you can just be wrong.
Does Howard Blues have something to chime in on?
I was just going to tell you, Kidder, when I sent you the picture of the blooming onion, I actually just grabbed the first one that had Outback and a picture of a blooming onion. Yeah, I just want to troll you by sending you, something that was reminiscent of an Outback. Kind of like this.
Well, let's just go back to the episode where you thought it was an Outback, but it was actually a Holiday Station store. The place that you claim has the best coffee available at a gas station. And then he sends me a freaking Holiday gas station. It's like we're on the same wavelength.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to regret this, but Kidder, are you having a round 7?
Yes, I need it. Okay, it's medicinal at this point. I need to make up for that. But the question is, what should I have? It's the Vermont. Sorry, Howard's blind. The Vermont IPA. What should I have? That's the question. So
The truth is that from Howard's view, he was pointing at the KRDN weather stream when he was saying,
Yes.
I have to make up for that.
You do need this in your life because it's accurate, it's local, and it's on time. It tells you the weather when you need it. It's on YouTube. Just search 213 or KRDN Eyewitness Weather Now.
Eventually we'll get to my story, but
You can't get yourself to sponsor your own other project.
Yeah, it's true because I don't have money anyway. So, do I have a blueberry lager? The blue. Do I have?
No, that'd go good with one of these.
A long drink. Lane, have you had a long drink?
I mean, my can's longer than yours.
Yes, but finish long drink. If you find this blue can, get one of these, and then is the other can tan?
red.
Red? Okay. Get the other one that's the red long drink. Those are two that Howard and I enjoy. Do I drink the Fargo Brewing Company original lager? Perhaps the Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. What else do I have? Oh, I have hard liquor too. The 6-year Templeton. Perhaps getting extra classy, going across to the loch of the Glendalough pot still Irish whiskey. What should I have here, gentlemen? Howard smirking because he sent me something else.
The answer is the Leinenkugel, because if you don't finish the Leinenkugel, you only got a couple more months while that stuff's still good.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of this stuff is probably expired by now. It's beer, blues, and BS. We're not quite the most current show because we're not doing it live.
The most relevant podcast from 3 weeks ago.
Are you guys 3 weeks out now? I thought it used to be 2.
Welcome to the new age of podcasting.
4 weeks out now. Oh my gosh.
We hit a kind of a string of bad luck and my health failing. If you haven't seen the recent episodes, I went through a patch where I was averaging maybe 5 hours of sleep a night. And so that's when we missed the first episode ever. And it was because I literally had a choice of stay up till 3 a.m. to finish editing or going to bed. And I chose sleep. And
doesn't that sound awfully familiar, Lane? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. Does that not sound oddly familiar?
I distinctly remember me telling you something about being at work until 10 p.m. and you telling me I cannot keep doing that. I do remember that.
Because both of us left. Well, I told you it's time to go home, and you're like, but I gotta. I'm like, no, we need to leave. Let's go.
yeah.
Liney's.
Respect. I mean, respect the choice to sleep.
Well, and then I've been working out of Medora for the last 2 months, so there's been some issues at times getting the podcast up. So it's not that we meant to have a 4-week buffer, but we have a 4-week buffer right now. So
Lane doesn't know. He hasn't watched in a year and a half. It's fine.
I mean, the last one I told Kidder this. The last one I watched was when he was driving trucks. So
yeah.
Whenever you guys make it onto my recommendation page, I'll click on it, but you're not really making it on there as often as you used to.
Sorry,
So
I almost spit that out.
you got to work on your Google Analytics.
Whenever you're popular enough to make it at least to my recommendations page, I click on it for at least 2 seconds and then leave.
Hey, I stay around long enough for you to get the Google view,
Man, that means he's out usually before What's on Tap even.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the
No,
show.
no. You see, that's
Here you
not
go.
what I skip to.
It's
That's
downhill
the part
from
I
there.
skip to. That's where my podcast starts. Is the what's on tap.
Oh, what's on tap?
Yeah,
Oh, these guys are drinking some crap. Here you go.
exactly.
Here you go.
Yes. So I started this story. Let's try it again. Kidder, I got a story that's going to make you feel better about life.
What? Oh, can we make it to it this time?
Well, it depends. Unfortunately, the Sky Bridge is down, so that's going to slow things up a bit.
What? Are you talking about the Sky Bridge at UND that said University of North Dakota across it? Is that gone?
Yeah, I stomped on my own transition that time.
Oh my God. I don't know what to do with life anymore.
We need a new joke.
No,
is supposed
it's
to
like
make him feel
8
better.
weeks now.
We had Lane, just to fill you in on a past episode.
Fill me in. Give me the spark.
We have a-
Did you know that the McVeigh building and West building were demolished at UND
I was
I'll
going to
be
give him the
honest.
actual context on this.
and
but-
rebuilt? No. I mean, the buildings were demolished and rebuilt, and then the whole Walsh complex as well. It's gone. It's completely gone. They took out Walsh and Beck and Squires and I'm sure a bunch of others in Conference Center. Like, they're gone. Lane doesn't have any idea what we're talking about, but that's fine because it's breaking news. They're gone. And somebody's creeping around behind Local Geek. Like nobody cares about this show anymore. It's breaking news, for Christ's sake.
Anyway, a friend of the show who's been on the show, actually, I think he's still been on the show the most times, Big D. He also doesn't watch the content, except for when he's on.
I surpassed him again. He tied me the last time he was on, and then he hasn't been on since.
Well, hey.
Yeah! We
Anyway.
got a new number one! Yeah! Suck that, Big D, to your business center.
Anyway, because he doesn't watch, except for the episodes he's on, he missed that we talked about all of the changes up at UND, the moving of buildings, the Sky Bridge, and that. And so he came on, he's like, and he was living in Grand Forks at the time. He's like, guys, I hate to tell you this, but, the Sky Bridge is gone. And we're like, yeah, we know. Did you also know that, like, he ran through the whole story? We just kept doing, yeah, we know. We've talked about this. Watch our show sometime, damn it. And ever since that, the joke has been, and we've done it almost every episode since, at some point, one of us does breaking news, and we bring up the fact that the Sky Bridge is gone. So
What?
I
It's
love it.
gone? What? Are
anyway,
you kidding me?
the story that I wanted to tell, and I'm gonna force this in here because
It's only
Wait.
been 20
Speaking of
minutes.
Sky Bridges, being in downtown Minneapolis, there's things called Skyways.
yes,
Wait, was that like a bridge in the sky?
Exactly. They're the most
Wow.
fantastic things ever, except for they close at 6 p.m. So anytime you want to use them, you can't use them.
Terrorism.
And they're not open on the
Right.
weekend.
That's how you stop terrorism, Lane.
yep.
Yes, the golf clap. Golf clap to stop terrorism. that's what it is.
So,
Oh, Howard had something to say.
just that's how this
So
goes.
are you talking about the Sky Bridge
I did this to myself, and
across
I fully will admit
University
that.
Avenue?
So anyway, as everybody knows, I've been staying in Medora.
What?
Practically
You
live
in
there.
Medora now?
I will get to this. I'm out there 4 days a week and such. Well, the weather's getting colder, and so Wednesday night, I made my way to the caretaker's cottage. For those who don't know, it is a restored 1940s cottage built by the Civilian Conservation Corps for the original site supervisor of the site. It's where I get to stay when I'm out there. Thank you, the State Historical Society of North Dakota for letting me do that, because that's a pretty cool thing. And anyway, I woke up Thursday morning, and apparently I had no heat. The heat went out sometime during the middle of the night. And so I did some investigating later in the day because I had to get to an early meeting. Come back and find out after some kind of trying to figure out what's up with the mechanicals and such. The place is out of propane. The entire tank is empty. And that meant that last night I had absolutely no heat again, and temperatures dropped pretty low. In fact, we had snow in Medora this morning. I hate to say that. And
saying you need some propane and propane accessories.
Not the accessories, just the propane. But the suit. But it was one of those things. Like when we figured it out, on Thursday, it's like I called, made an urgent request of where do we get our propane? Like, can we get something in? Because I have to stay in this cabin. It's supposed to be like deep cold freezing. And they're like, they called me back about an hour later, like, well, we don't have any trucks in the area, so it'll be Monday at the soonest. It's like, yeah. So, needless to say, yes, I had a very, very cold night last night. So, I'm glad to be back in Bismarck in a house with heat. So, see, don't you all feel better about how you slept last night?
I mean, no, because I went to bed late and got woken up early.
That's your own damn fault.
No, not my fault. Remember, Gene Snitsky says, it wasn't my fault. And it actually wasn't my fault.
No, it's still your damn fault.
I know where you live.
You've had too many to get here.
I know an Uber or a Lyft.
No, you don't.
And I know
You're in Bismarck,
bird.
North Dakota. Uber and Lyft have shut down at this point in the night already.
False. And no, I'm not going to get one of those damn scooters because I would freeze by the time I get up there. Even though, according to the KRDN Eyewitness Weather Now live stream, it is 32.8 degrees and it feels like 30.2 degrees. It's cold, but I would make it there.
It's a perfect temperature to keep your kegerator.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And thank you, Local Geek, the brewmaster of the Triple B, for again giving an astute tip for people to keep their beer the proper temperature.
Also, a nice chilly basement. It keeps your beer colder longer.
I just use a fridge.
Yeah, beer fridge would work too.
My fridge is a couple floors up. That's a little ways away.
If you get one of these little fridges like here, or like Local Geek is pointing to, a whole kegerator full of tasty, frothy beverage that we don't have access to right now.
You do. You just have to hop on that little scooter of yours and go to Bandan.
I can't take that sumbitch across the bridge. That thing's gonna go flying off the side into the river. You want me to die? Silence means admission. So listen, I'm gonna let Lane take this one because I think Lane likes me more.
I think the last time I was on, we talked about all the ways Kidder can die too.
I actually made it a whole murder mystery about who was going to kill him.
Please just do it. Okay.
So surprisingly, though, you know who wasn't on that list? The murder bird did not show up on that list. I'm surprised. I mean, that's right up his alley.
Side. He's on my side. Let's be honest here. You wonder why the murder bird hasn't been caught? Because he's working for the right side of the law. Lane's like, what are you talking about?
No, there's a Bismarck Mandan joke in there somewhere, and I'm trying to find it.
Oh, you mean like Mandan saying that?
Come on. You've only been making this joke since high school. You should just roll it right off onto your tongue, man.
Oh, it's rolling. It's rolling. Because the thing that Bismarck will never have that Mandan always does is a beautiful city across the river. Thank you very much.
It's also where that kegerator you're jealous of is.
Hey, for the low price of like $800, I could get my own and put it over here or something in the back on the
but
movie wall.
Who are you going to get to fill it? Me, I proudly welcome our Mandan beer overlords. You know, that's
Mandan beer overlords. Local Geek is taking over. Oh, like a kitty.
Yeah, like the one of two that I have. This one just likes to sit right behind my head. Moving to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and then growing up in like Bismarck-Mandan area, like it's no like you know how like when people first moved to Bismarck-Mandan, they're like you can make a lot of fun of like insert other city here. I moved here and it was immediately just like fit in with everyone. It's like, oh yeah, you just make fun of the people on the other side of the river. It's easy peasy. So I'm wondering if this is just like a national thing now. So like the next place I move, it's still got to be like a city on either side of the river. Just got to go back to the other side because I think I'm on the eastern side now. Yeah. So, yeah.
You live in a van.
No, western side.
River.
This raises the question, and Local Geek, you might know. Do the folks in Mandan make Bismarck jokes?
I don't know that I've ever heard any.
Listen, they can't afford it, so
there goes our listeners in Mandan.
One of my jobs is in Mandan. Let's be honest here. I straddle both sides of the political spectrum.
Technically, don't you have locations from your primary job in Mandan as well?
I sure do. But I don't go there. It's in Mandan. I don't want to get shot. I was like, I don't know if I can use that.
There's a cop joke in there somewhere. I just can't find it.
You know, you keep that up, Lane. The bottom of your lower third is going to read, there's a punchline here somewhere, but we can't find it.
something cop joke.
or, you know, Lane, he's still looking for the punchline.
I'll take it. I mean, I'm still in the intro, right? I'm pretty sure. I didn't listen to the latest one.
See, you have been gone so long. There's a new intro, man.
Oh no, this is where you have to play. Okay, so this is where we play the new intro. So you get 2 intro plays in the episode.
I'm not doing that yet.
Like an hour in?
It would be about the right place if you're going to split it into 2 episodes.
No, we create the 5-week buffer.
They're 5 weeks behind. Like nobody cares when it's live, let alone 4 weeks behind. So 5 weeks, nobody. Lane, you don't even watch. So
again,
who's watching?
Only when you create stuff that pops up on my recommended. When I go to you, like I don't search anything on YouTube. I press YouTube and I see what's on the first page. I might give it a couple of scrolls. Beyond that, like, if the algorithm's not doing a good enough job, but I would say you guys do surprisingly show up like more often than you would think.
Wow. Well, thank you.
I mean, you did have like 5 viewers for the live show.
I'm sure Lane wasn't one of them.
I was not.
If you start right now, Lane, it'll take you about 10.5 days to watch all of our episodes.
All I need is a job where I'm editing all day again. That's really all I need. Because that's how I was staying up to date with you guys and stuff. I had your podcast on at work.
Jacob, I think I found somebody to help us out with the show. His name's Lane. He knows how to edit, and he can make this thing put together like it's butter.
Yeah, but he's smart enough to actually charge us to do it.
There it is.
No, he's gonna do it at work where he's already getting paid, so it doesn't matter.
If I have the time, I don't have time to do the things they want me to do while I'm there. Ugh.
Welcome to adulthood.
Oh, it's not I'm almost 30, Chris. How does that make you feel? I worked with you when I was a junior in high school.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
How old does that
I
make
had
us?
already lost my hair when I supervised him.
Yeah, but you were also losing your hair in high school.
Now he's just making stuff up. Because I still had to have my hair thinned in high school when I got a haircut.
Well, this is the problem. You got it thin too much.
Yeah, those thinning shears cutting away at my lifestyle.
Technically, I don't know, because I don't know how old. I don't know where Local Geek's birthday falls off the top of my head to know who's older, me and him, to know if I'm the oldest person on this show.
Yep. Yeah, you're old.
I am older than Kidder. I know that much. I can't remember off the top of my head where yours falls either. I want to say March.
Hey, Kidder, don't give away when my birthday is. That's a secret.
What?
Because people know that they start wishing me.
I wasn't on the screen. I wasn't there. I didn't give away any trade secrets. It's not recorded except for the fourplex.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I'm impressed that you finally started recording the fourplex. Like,
Yeah,
that needed to happen.
just so you know.
I mean,
It only took him 2 years to start doing it.
I think that started on the 2-year live show.
Before I didn't care. I mean, nobody else cares except for Lane. We haven't had any comments like, hey, you guys should have a multi-view.
It was literally like the first episode I watched. I was like, why do you guys not have a multi-view? This is dumb. I was like, what are you doing?
We're working with what we got. Have you seen the early materials?
I have.
I'm like in a constant haze because of my camera.
You are. Honestly though, you guys have come a long ways. Like you got like a good camera. Like Kidder finally got some like background that's not just like blankets over a chair. Like
Blankets?
I know what Lake's talking about.
Oh, never mind. I take it back. They're still there.
Blankets? Are you drunk or high?
High was last night. Drunk is tonight. Let me tell you, the beautiful thing about living in Minneapolis, nobody cares which one it is.
And what background does Local Geek have right now?
What do you mean background? I just invaded Howard's house.
Where is he? That by the way, Lane, is a flag.
It used to be a blanket.
No, it was a flag.
Was it? I swear it was a Sioux blanket for a long time.
I can go to the business center.
It was a flag. Oh, the Big D Business Center, live, loud, and on location. The acoustics are a bit, but that's fine. Howard's like, I hate when kidders drink that much.
I just know that's going to be an episode, and
yeah, Lane's here, the first of its kind.
that's like the redeeming factor of this episode.
There we go. Okay, so
let me guess. The title is the one with Lane.
No,
that's too easy.
Yeah, that is.
Well, it's only one. So,
well, I mean that's on you. You don't have waited this long to ask me to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, I'm not the only host of this show. Just so you know,
that was the plural you, don't you? Yeah, no, don't you? It was the plural you.
Yes. I want to make that known that somebody else who was your first boss clearly didn't care enough to reach out and invite you on the show.
But to be fair, yes, like not technically not my first boss. My first boss. Okay, so weirdly enough, that place, my mother ended up working there. Which, by the way, she says hi. Secondly, also my mother's cousin worked there. So like it was a little weird, but
very weird.
Then Howard came and made it a little like more like an actual place to work.
So first real boss.
There, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And he still didn't invite you to the show, but I did.
Well, it's because he knows after like 2 or 3, I just will stop showing up.
Yeah.
You never not showed up for work for me, so
this is true.
Maybe it's your supervisor motivating you to come to work, helping you be a better person, giving you the skills to make it in the big city.
I remember his way of motivating was like, Lane, go find something to fix. Like something's broken. Just like points me to the wing. Half the time, there wasn't anything broken. I would just go and check every single
because
exhibit.
He's an asshole. That's why.
I'd come back, or
he's not denying it. Look at that shit-eating grin on his face.
Or he would have not checked the wing, and just I would come back with a list, and he'd be like, yes, go fix that.
Go fix that.
Yeah, go fix that.
Hey, it was teaching you to have some initiative. You found all the things that were wrong. And
I don't know that was ever a problem with me there. I think I was one of like the better like high school employees. Like,
I mean, you're no Joel, but
this is fair.
But let's face it. There were very few who could be Joel. Joel's the only person I fired 5 times and had to rehire.
Yeah,
and he had the same reaction every time, because he'd screw up, and I'd go, and he would come and tell me, he's like, "Hey, I screwed up." I'm like, "Well, gonna have to fire you." He's like, "I understand, but I don't have anybody else to cover the rest of the shift. So Joel, you're rehired." He's like, "All right, glad to be back." I actually did that once to him at a staff meeting.
I remember that.
Yeah, he did that. Shay was like, "Oh my!" Like she thought I was serious, because he came in like, "Chris, I screwed up. I'm gonna have to let you go, Joel. I understand." And Joel just leans over, and goes, "Don't worry, he's gonna rehire me here in like 2 seconds." But he was good. Joel was good.
And he's talking about this other guy, Lane. How does that make you feel?
The pride I have is like, who do you think trained Joel?
Jonah.
Probably. Probably. It was either me or Jonah, one of the two of us. At that point, we were the most senior staff there.
I'll put it this way, and here's the truth of it. I know I'm joking with Lane quite a bit, but clearly I thought highly of Lane, because when Kidder came to me and said, "Hey, I need an editor. You know anybody?" Lane was the first person I thought of, and I knew I could recommend him because I knew that he was a terrific employee.
And I was very happy to have you. Very excited to be able to share that time with you. And even happier that you got a job to get the hell out.
I was about to say, it's like the punchline to this, and I was very happy to leave. But not due to any fault of yours. Although I will say I have kept in touch with some of the people that work there, and I heard a little bit of how that went down at the end.
With me?
I don't think it was you, but like one of the directors walked out in the middle of the show.
Yes.
And
that is true.
From what he told me, I could not blame him.
Nope. And I don't either. especially after a summer shandy from Leinenkugel's Brewing Company.
Summer Sandy, rarely getting that ad plug in October. Well,
Yeah.
actually, this will be airing in November.
Pretty much, yeah. So just a quick shout out since it's, first, second, maybe third week of November at this point. Happy birthday, Mom. But yes, that happened and a meeting happened and then didn't have a job anymore.
At least you're free
Yeah.
from the white shirted terror.
And so is a mutual friend of ours, Lane, who I
Yep.
ran into last week.
Very good. There is one person there that I still feel very bad for because from what I've heard, it all ended up on his plate.
I mean, between the two who are left, I feel very sad that they're stuck with it.
Oh, yeah.
And the other good people we worked with, very sad that they're stuck with it.
It all
But-
became their problem.
Yeah. And we're not there anymore.
Woo!
So I do have to say, though, about our Lane, our mutual friend who lives in my hood, came to visit last week
Oh,
for an issue, and the company he works for, I think it likes to money grab even about the same or perhaps even worse than the company we worked for.
oh no.
So I hope that he's in a better environment for him. However, the owner leadership of that company is just as douchey as what we experience. So
That is unfortunate.
yeah, because a service call for 10 minutes of work is $135.
Wow.
Even though I did the most work as the homeowner. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Those guys. Sorry, future Howard, but that one deserves it. Trust me.
I was wondering, are we allowed to swear here?
I mean,
yes, you are. However, we have been trying to improve our viewing in the algorithm by swearing less. So yes, you can swear, but future Howard is going to swear when he has to beep it out later, which is why everybody now on this show, whenever they swear, the next thing they always say is, sorry, future Howard. So
Thank you, future Howard, for the work that you do for the show.
I think I've managed to keep it to a minimum, if at all.
don't start that, Local Geek, because we have joked around about the idea of somebody going back, watching all the content, and figuring out who swore the most on this show. I don't know that you want to open yourself up to that.
I mean, you also have the power to just bleep whatever you want, so you can make it look like I did.
Yeah. He's the most potty mouth individual on this show. Local Geek. Jeez, man. You brew some great beer, but holy cow, the way your mouth moves.
I actually did that to Kidder in one of the episodes. I forget which one.
We'll find
they
it.
all blend together.
It wasn't too long ago. I think I remember it.
That was a while ago. I forget.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of things worth swearing about, Pacific Rant. When is this going to happen?
Yes. Here we go.
Sitting right there. Right there.
When's this going to happen?
Oh, I mean, I got to find time, man. I have even less time. I got kids now.
Well, here's the good thing. There's 2 movies and an animated series, so the kids can watch the animated series.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, but, I should probably watch the movie first. Get the backstory.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
But if I watch the animated one and it's not that good, then I might be turned off and never watch the actual.
It's good. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. It's good. I wouldn't have brought it up if it wasn't good. Because remember, the
Right.
goal is to get you to watch it.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I see Kidder has fallen asleep during this portion of the show.
Did
Yeah,
you get
because-
a chance to check out that link I sent you about Pacific Rim?
I mean, I'll get to it.
Yeah,
I've been saying
he's
this
going to
for
get
2
to it
years.
about the same freaking time that he watches the movie. That's what's going to happen. Never.
I'll read you the entire article right now.
Go for it. Local Geek, the floor is yours.
A Japanese firm has transformed the world of science fiction into science reality with their new robot Arcax. That's the whole article right there.
Wow.
The headline is Japanese firm brings sci-fi Pacific Rim to life with piloted robots.
Oh, so we bring in the robot. This is going
Hmm.
to take on the kaiju.
I kind of want to believe that they switched that, like in like the Japanese article, it was probably like Gundam, because that's a bigger series there. But like Gundam, nobody's going to know what Gundam is in the United States. Pacific Rim, we'll go with that. That was a big movie.
I would be very surprised if more people knew what Pacific Rim was than people that knew that Gundam was in the United States. I would be very surprised.
Hard to say. I mean, because clearly Kidder doesn't know, and that's
Gangnam Style.
I bet you Kidder watched Gundam at some point in his life.
I've seen some.
See?
yeah, probably like an ad while it was something else was on.
But I've
But he
seen it.
knows. That's all that matters. All you need to know, big giant robot. Big giant lizard. Could be any movie. You don't know.
I mean, it couldn't be any movie. I mean,
It could be
I
a
mean,
lot of
look,
movies.
although that said, eventually the reboot cycle will come around and we'll get Pride and Prejudice and Kaiju.
We already got like Abe Lincoln and like zombies. So like, or what was it? Vampire
Yeah, he's
Hunter? What was
throwing
it?
the axe through zombie.
Yeah.
Yep. Abraham Lincoln's, zombie.
I never told a lie to kill.
Which
It's
is
like,
interesting because that's a Washington reference. Anyway,
Right, but I mean, he also like 7 years ago, and like proclamation and things and axes and and that's the movie because it's clearly the most accurate representation of Abraham. It's almost like
Sure.
a midnight meat train.
Sure.
I know none of the three of you were there for that, but
I was going to say that's a very inside joke.
Dinosaur was there. The staring at an orange and beyond the butter man was there. Nico was there. Yeah. Went to see the Rambo movie, if you remember Rambo.
Which one?
It was the title Rambo. So 2006 to 2008, somewhere in there, where it was Rambo. Sylvester Stallone goes over to a country like Vietnam, but it's not Vietnam. And and there was a preview for a horror movie on the subway called Midnight Meat Train. And Dinosaur, sitting at the front of the audience in this packed theater, waiting for the Sylvester Stallone movie Rambo to come on the screen. As it goes silent, goes, and then I laugh, and Nico laughs, and he laughs, which makes Nico laugh harder, which makes me laugh harder, which makes Dinosaur laugh harder, and then the theater is laughing because it's Midnight Meat Train, and it's like a inside sexual joke.
Something sex joke.
Mhm.
Gets ratings. Hopefully we get like 2 likes for that. Maybe 3.
I thought you were trying to like be more algorithm friendly.
Oh, hashtag smash that sub button, like us, share that. Yeah, beerbluesbs.com, bro. Smash that sub button, share, click, like, yeah. Like
Don't forget the merch.
Merch store, beerbluesbs.com, click merch.
When was the last time you had a new T-shirt?
About a month ago.
2 months ago.
I'll have to go peruse the website. It's been a while.
Mhm.
Did you get your Big D shower curtain yet?
No, but I am due for a new liner, so maybe.
Oh, it's a liner, all right. It's gonna line your horror freaking nightmares for the rest of your life.
Well, like the funny part is like I've recently started seeing somebody, so like when they see the new shower curtain, it'd be hilarious for me.
There's an Oreo ice cream sandwich involved.
Delicious.
And quite the stare. So I'm going to leave it at that as a teaser to go to beerbluesbs.com, click on merch, or as a secondary option, you can go to streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs/merch.
This is where Future Howard puts the lower third up.
Yeah.
You would like to think that, but
He probably put it over your face just because.
Which would be, do you know what would be really impressive? If like I started doing this and he made it like track with my face.
stop giving Future Howard work.
Oh, man. He's so pissed right now.
Yeah, not really. No.
No, you aren't pissed, Howard. Future Howard is pissed.
It's
Depends.
all right. He's got 5 weeks to do it. It's all good. So I had my other note that I made a note of, and I had to get because if I remember correctly, there's a group of Xbox gamers amongst this crowd, right? There's been a recent Xbox game release from a certain big name company, Bethesda. Have you had the opportunity to try the rotten trash pile that is this game?
You already said Bethesda, so like we know that it's a flaming dumpster fire. So what are you talking about? Elder Scrolls? Are you talking about Star Trek Legacy? Are you talking about insert game name here?
The new IP, Starfield, that came out like I guess at the time of airing, it'll be 2 months ago.
Right. The game that's supposed to keep you entertained for many years to come, but gamers who have played it for less than 2 months are already bored with it.
Yep. Thank you, Todd Howard. Thanks for that one. I got it for free. Well, not for free. I used the Game Pass for like $10 a month, and like I was about 2 hours in, and I was like, nope. So,
do tell, Lane. I would like to hear more about this story.
I mean, there's only 2 hours of gameplay to reference, but it was just bland and boring. Like I opened it up, started playing, and I was like, yep, this is a Bethesda game. Oh, it's not even really a good Bethesda game.
What did
Closed
you
it,
have to
never
do
opened it again.
in said game? What you started up and what you're a dude on a planet and you got to go to space?
Yeah, literally, you're just a dude in space. Like it's just like you're just going around collecting resources, going to collect like these like energy orbs and like stuff like power up and stuff. But like, it's not super compelling. The characters in the game are also kind of just washed, I guess. I don't know. They're like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like there aren't like for like you would think a colony of space, you'd have a wide variety of people, right? A wide variety of types of people, right? Like, you know, if you've got some sort of, but like it's
So you're talking basically people between the ages of 25 and 35
Maybe.
of a
I
certain
don't know.
skin color.
Yeah, it's honestly, it was just kind of like a very underwhelming experience coming off of like Baldur's Gate. Like it was just very underwhelming, and like very quickly I was like, there's not a reason for me to open this game up again after the first time I sat down and spent 2 hours playing it. Uninstall. So
Did you happen to make any sci-fi spaceships?
no, I didn't even get that far.
Mm.
And I know there are ships you can buy and upgrade and stuff, but like from my understanding, there's not a lot of space travel even towards the end of the game. It's all fast travel. You just go, boom, you're there. So like it seems like a very big missed opportunity in a game in space.
It's because space is boring.
I mean, honestly, true though.
Space is vast.
A lot of nothing out there though.
And space is also where you can't hear somebody scream.
If you hear a forest fall, if you hear a tree fall in a
The
forest,
whole forest falls down at the same time.
if you don't hear a tree fall in a forest, did the tree fall?
If you kill Kidder in space, do you hear him scream?
Yes, because I'm loud AF. Lane, how many times did you hear me like coming down the hallway yelling about something?
At least 3 times a week.
And it wasn't your fault.
It was never my fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
That's
the
why I was-
record, since this is recorded and on the internet for all to see, I love Lane. Howard, usually. Local Geek, absolutely.
Only when I bring beer, right?
Yes, 100%.
But we don't love Howard when Howard brings beer because that's. I was going to say 50-50, but it's like 30-30-30 on whether it's going to be an enjoyable experience.
Probably.
It
Well,
depends.
yeah.
Here's the truthful way to find out.
60-40.
If Howard says, this beer looked interesting, I thought we should all try it, 50-50 chance that it's good or bad. If Howard says, here, I've had this beer, you should try it, don't. Because more than likely, Howard is pawning off something pretty terrible.
Howard says, I had a bunch of these left in my fridge and I didn't have the time to drink them and they were going to go bad. Here, you should have some. I'm pretty sure that's almost verbatim what you told me.
Basically,
drink
that
them.
is exactly what happened. Yes.
That sounds like that coffee stout I gave you guys.
That was pretty terrible.
I don't think that was in the pack you gave me because that sounds like something I would enjoy.
No, trust me. No. I have had many a coffee beer on this show. That one was not good. I think I was the only one of the 3 of us who finished it.
Oof.
That was purely out of principle.
If you want to try it for yourself, it was the Toppling Goliath coffee stout.
Well, Google, tell me where I can find it. Come on.
Oh no, he's using the internet.
Oh, don't you worry. I
He's
learned
gonna
how to do
drop
that
out.
at a co-op.
12 frames per second here. He's going to be in slow motion.
No, it's already there. I type in toppling and it immediately pulls it up. It's like Google's listening to everything we ever say.
What?
And on that startling and shocking revelation,
I need another beer?
no, Kidder. We've been talking for quite a while.
Whoa!
It's
What?
time we wrap this up.
What do you mean we wrap it up? We're done?
Yeah.
We can't be done. Lane's here.
Listen, I'm sure there'll be some talking after the show.
Oh,
there
what
is.
What?
There is
Local
one more
Geek's
topic
got
that,
something to say.
that probably needs to be mentioned, unless maybe Future Howard has inserted it into another episode already. But I saw the news this week that Medora is home.
How did you miss that? That has been inserted into an episode that came out.
Well, seeing as it just happened this week, I haven't watched this week's episode.
It wasn't this week's
news.
episode.
Well, I saw the announcement that he was going home, but officially he is now home. So
Yes. Mhm.
The righteous justice has prevailed.
Mhm.
Also, on that note, speaking of righteous and justice, Lane, anything else on your list that we need to get to before Howard sends us home?
Anything else I need to get to on my list? This was a list very shoddily and quickly put together. I told you I had 2 points, and I'm certain I could bold and come up with a third one on the spot. But to save Future Howard some work, I'm going to say no. I have nothing else to say.
That sounds like a bot. Something that a bot would say.
Let me tell you,
Computer
ChatGPT,
algorithm.
fantastic
Yes.
for writing resumes.
I hope this email finds you well. So,
this clearly AI created episode of Beer Blues and BS. Kidder, I'm trying this a second time. We've been talking for quite a while. It's time we wrap this show up with some cheap plugs that we did earlier, but we're going to do again because that's what we do.
yeah, maybe Lane forgot that you can visit beerbluesbs.com, and I hope that website finds you well. Beerbluesbs.com. On the website, not only can you see everything about Triple B, but you can donate to the show, buy us a beer, buy us a round, and your name, your info, and your message will be shared right here on the screen if you're watching the YouTube version. And if you're listening to the show, we will discuss what you say and share your message as well, so it will not be forgotten and not be for less. You can give us your money, give us your wealth at beerbluesbs.com. Click buy us a beer or click merch. That's another option for you. beerbluesbs.com. Click on merch. You can get. Oh no. There it is. That's exactly. Thank you, Howard, for bringing that up. Because, yes, that's what I was going to mention. The Cookie Gnome himself of Big D, the Beer Blues BS podcast, beerbluesbs.com, the Cookie Gnome Meister or Cookie Gnome Shyster, depending on what you want to say and how you want to say it. It is available right now at beerbluesbs.com. Also, you can get him his face on a pint glass or a sticker, perhaps a hoodie. You want his face on a hoodie, you can wear it around loud and proud everywhere and anywhere you go. Maybe a sticker that says, I know how to use the internet and I'm an adult. You can get that too. Or a t-shirt and quote, I don't get it. T-shirt or sticker. beerbluesbs.com. Click on merch. Lane, I'm putting you on the spot for this one, but have you seen those amazing shirts, pint glasses, etc.?
No.
He's waiting for me to watch Pacific Rim, and then he's going to go out and buy a T-shirt.
That's the criteria.
It is a bit of a Mexican standoff here.
I see. So both of you are screwing me through this. I see how it is. This is some superior BS that I'm stuck in. Okay? This is terrible.
Just make sure you wipe your shoes before you go inside.
what you get for
No,
being the
wipe
second
them
boss.
before you go back outside because you want to keep that crap in wherever you are. Anyway, also streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. We are on Streamlabs. We have a merch store there, and you can subscribe to the show. Yeah, $1 a month helps to save a starving podcast host. $1 a month. Please help your podcast hosts. We would really appreciate you joining us each week. And $1 a month helps bring the show more to life. For a second, I thought Lane was giving me the middle finger, but he wasn't. I do
wiping away a
appreciate.
tear because you were doing such a good job on that drama.
Thank you. Thank you. If you could now nominate me for, I don't know, an Oscar or an Academy Award or whatever the hell the rich people give each other is an award for things that people make happen. Yeah. What did Howard send me? Another picture of a holiday gas station. I feel like I need to not go to a holiday station. And yeah, because you did that, you get another word.
Just trying to send you some photos of an Outback, man.
Outback. It's like 8 hours away because we can't have an Outback here because I don't have enough money to open an Outback.
We don't even have one in the state.
Yeah.
I can just cut all this.
Yeah, probably. It's going to cut jaggedly into, oh, here we are with Beer Blues and BS. And the merch store, beerbluesbs.com or streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs.
Have a good night.
We got to mention where we're available there, Lane. But thank you for that enthusiastic end of the show. Maybe Howard will copy that and put it at the end of the show so it duplicates for where it needs to be. But, oh, no, F it, he says. Okay. So we are available in the video version on YouTube. You can watch this train wreck happen in real time. Also, we are available on all of the audio podcast platforms, including YouTube podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Stitcher, IMDb, Player FM, YouTube podcast, which I said already, but just saying it again because why not? Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much any audio platform out there that steals our audio and puts it up on their show and platform as their own. Just search for Beer, Blues, and BS. And please smash that sub button, click that thumbs up, hit the share button, get that out on social media, get it all over the place. Yeah. Because sharing is caring. Other than that, buy our merch. It's like $120 a month to help this show keep going. So please donate today and donate often, even if you help to donate some alcohol and get us drunk. That's fine. Aside from that, final thoughts. Since we do have the astute, the first timer himself, Lane. Final thoughts for tonight.
Oh man, this is you said sorry. I'm gonna put you on the spotlight, and then you did it again. Put me on the hot seat back to back. Damn,
I didn't say sorry.
There was some veiled apology in there. Final thoughts on the night. I think 2 bullet points was enough. You know, like I thought I was gonna be underprepared, but 2 was more than enough.
Clearly, he hasn't watched this show in a long time.
I'll have to like catch up or find more office time in the future to listen to the podcast. I commute 20 minutes every day, sometimes 40 minutes depending on traffic. Seems like a missed opportunity. That's all I'm saying. So if you're commuting 20 to 40 minutes every day, you know what the podcast to put on is.
Intentionally blank.
Good night.
I was going to say, our Kidder's the one who always does final thoughts, but he's distracted by his phone. So, Local Geek, final thoughts, even though
there's three of you. I left it vaguely open to share your thoughts, whether it's individually or amongst yourself collectively. I can't leave y'all alone for 30 seconds. OMG.
You know better.
Yeah, it's like where I used to work. And I mean, whether I was forced to leave or left on my own recognizance, it was, something.
Pacific Rim.
Something. Glad to not be there anymore. Final thoughts.
You didn't throw it to anyone. You just...
I threw it to the screen. That means any of you can take it. Even if Lane thought of something else quippy to say, because he's got lots of stuff to say. I know it.
This is true. But, some of them are better left off the internet. That's for the Patreon, whenever you guys get that going.
I mean, we could make it something that you have to pay for. Like, look at that. Local Geeks now live from a graveyard with Spooky Owl. He even fits in with the green aura.
You give me grief about ending the show early, but then you take like all the time in the world to close out the show.
Yeah, because he ended it too early. That's why.
I'm also not the one who wants to have like 30 minutes of behind the curtain that I got to squeeze in here too. Damn it!
I didn't do that.
Behind the curtains just plays at 2 times speed.
Wasn't me.
It's okay. I have the video proof where he's like, "Oh, it's gonna be the longest behind the curtain." Future Howard will probably play it right now to prove my point. So okay, now we're starting this thing.
Woo!
Here we go.
He's gonna have behind the curtain for half an hour. It's gonna be better than the show.
Some of this is gonna get clipped into the clip show 3, maybe 4, depends when I ever get to those.
It wasn't me. Got me in the counter. Wasn't me. Got me in the shower. Wasn't me. Even got me on camera. Wasn't me. Lane's not old enough for that song.
I don't think Lane's old enough for that reference.
That's what I'm saying. He's not old enough for that song. He's not supposed to hear those words.
Nope.
Good thing Local Geek was in our class. Yes. Local Geek, final thoughts for tonight.
Yeah, nothing.
Drink early and drink often. Perfect. Thanks, Local Geek. Really appreciate that. That's why you were the Triple B Brewmaster. So, since Howard has given me the glare and it's apparently about that time, let's get the hell on out of here. For Howard Blues, for the Local Geek, and for the guy finally joining us after like 2.5 years of poking, prodding, making fun of, and calling out directly, Lane, thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us. I am the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Gitter. Thank you for joining us for this and every episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. We'll catch you on the next episode, which, of course, is down the digital Tuscana Highway, There is free beer tomorrow. Keep your glass at least half full, and we'll see you on the next edition of Beer, Blues, and BS.
All right. That was something.
Now I can pee. But you can feel free to include that.
Smart man not leaving during the show, because who knows what's going to pop up in that chair.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
Blasting you.
Nah, your audio's good.
Okay. I got a new microphone and I wasn't sure because it sent feedback through my speakers when I first hooked it up. So I was like, I hope it's not too sensitive.
Oh, new audio, stepping up in the world.
Yeah, I was gifted a Yeti Blue by a friend.
That's same microphone I use.
Yeah, I've had my eye on one for a while and just couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger just to have on the podcast. And my friend was like, hey, I'm giving this away. Does anybody want it?
I can't help those. Okay? And then sometimes that's just healthy, okay?
Oops.
It stinks over here. Ew, babe.
I'm sorry I didn't join sooner because I don't know what's going on either.
All I can tell you is, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to Behind the Curtain. Because we recorded all of that.
Yeah, so did I.
Good.
Let me put my other earbud in so then I can adequately hear.